Hey everybody, SA Spiker here again. I want to show you how I merge my long exposure HDR shots together into my final picture that I can edit. This is a shot I did, let me get some of this crap out of the way. This is a shot I did at 30 seconds. And that's actually not a bad shot. I could probably do some editing on that and it wouldn't look terrible. But I did do 3 exposures here. The next one is going to be underexposed, my 8-second shot. And I go to that and you can see, you can't see anything in the foreground, but look how good that sun looks. I like that nice defined round sun up in that sky. And you go to my overexposed 2-minute 8-second shot, man, that's really bright. You know, you can't even see anything, the whole sky's whited out. But it's giving me a better look at those rocks in the front. And at the longer exposure, the water's even more smoothed out. So I need to merge these together. First thing I need to do is make sure they're all 3 selected. And they are right now, but I'm going to click off of them. I click on one, hold down the control key, and click on the other and make sure all 3 selected. Go to Photo, Photo Merge, and say HDR. And it'll do this little preview for me here so I can see what I'm looking at. And this is going to be my merged picture. That's not looking too bad. Let me get that up in the middle. You can see I have auto settings on. If I click that off, it's still, not looking too bad. I'll leave the auto settings on even though I can do that in development afterwards, just to give me a starting point. Now, I'll merge those 3 shots together. Right now it's creating my final picture that I'm going to use to edit. Takes that just a minute there, and there it is. Okay, now before I edit that, let's look back at our 3 shots again, our 3 original shots. There's the 30-second shot, 8-second shot, totally brightened out, and this is my final composition. And you can see that's already start looking a lot better. So what I can do now, before I export that and call it my final shot, I'll do some editing on it here in Lightroom under the development module. And I'm going to go through this really quick. It won't be a real good tutorial or anything. You see under the tone box there, everything in this box is what was adjusted when I did the auto settings. And that exposure, it's a little bit dark, even though I'm going to darken it up afterwards. I want to bring that up some. This slider is real touchy. But I'll bring it up just a little bit higher than what it was on the auto. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not going to do a whole lot of editing, but I love clarity. And I'm guilty of overusing clarity. Look at 100%. But no, I try to stay down around 50. It's easy to overuse that. I look at my vibrance here. It's also another one that's real easy to overuse. Let's bump that up. Bump it up to 100 and see what it looks like. There we go. And sometimes you might want to do that, but I try to keep that down around 50 on this shot. Let's say 55. And I'm going to just check my white balance. Auto white balance is way too blue. I'm going to leave that as shot. And that's a pretty good looking picture so far. For some reason I like to go to this, whatever it's called, the tone curve, and bounce these around a little bit. It's just find a way that gives me some better contrast. I'm probably not even using it the way it's supposed to be, but that's just what I like to do. Seems to give me good looking contrast. I'll bump the sharpening up, usually to about 50. My luminous noise reduction, I like to usually put it around 30. I'm not even looking at this picture, I'm just automatically doing these things. I clicked on remove chromatic aberrations, and I'm going to give it a little bit of vignetting. Probably shouldn't have done it really on this picture, but I'm just doing this really quick, just to give you an example. And I'm just about done with that. Last thing I'm going to do is I want to see these rocks. So I put a gradient over there, boost up that exposure. What do I want to do? No, not clarity. Leave that clarity off for right now. Now what this is doing, it's affecting everything below that line there with the circle on it. There it is. I bump up my shadows, and then I can see those rocks and those shells the way I want to. And well, I might add some sharpness. Like I said, this is only affecting things below that line there with the circle on it. So it's only affecting my rocks down there. Yeah, I guess I'll give it some sharpness just so I can see those rocks. And before I go, I'm all right, just a little bit more clarity. And I think I'm just going to leave that the way it is. And for right now, I think that's not a bad looking picture. I think I can live with that. So let me go ahead back to library mode real quick. And we'll look at our 3 shots again. Over, under, normal exposure, and our final product. All right, I'm going to end it there. Zippity-doo-dah! Zippity-a! All right! I'm in a much better mood now. There we go. And, well, let me just show you my final picture that I ended up with when I originally did this on my, that's not looking too bad. All right, we'll see you.